Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to season 9, episode 31 of the Focus TV. Whole crew's here as usual. We got Octavia Wyatt, Cardo Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Wilson Tarbett Jr. But before we get started, just want to remind you all, head over to thefocustv.com so you stay up to date with everything that we have going on. From the latest episodes of this show that airs weekly to the 24/7 live feed from our channel. That's also on Roku, Amazon Fire TV. That feed plays our most recent content. So Mystics Outlook, Mystics Pregame, Wizards Outlook now that Summer League's about to get started. The most recent content is in that feed, along with the latest news and interviews and highlights. Head to thefocustv.com. That said, Ray, the Mystics is where we typically start this time of the year. So what is going on with the Washington Mystics at this moment?
Yeah, man, they had a little bit of momentum going. They had won 2 games in a row against Portland, and they're looking for their second 3-game winning streak of the season. But the Valkyries stopped them in their tracks last night. Yeah, they just put a defensive clinic on in the second half. The Mystics fell 62-49, and I mean, yeah, they just couldn't get anything going in any area of the game. It was a little tough to watch, to be perfectly honest, man. But the Valkyries, they're one of the best teams in the league and have the best defense. So, I mean, this is what they do to everybody. And yeah, the Mystics, they just struggle getting things going. And the Valkyrie turned them over. They got out and ran, and the Mystics weren't able to return a favor. And they weren't able to capitalize on what they typically do well either. Points in the paint, the Mystics won the battle, but it was only by 6 points. In the game where they shot 30% from the field, and 13% from three, they need to generate offense from somewhere, and they just couldn't get it going. Also, the Valkyries bench outscored the Mystics bench 39-13. So yeah, man, it was just a clinic up and down. But it's still some optimism. Also announced today, Sonya and Kiki were named All-Stars for the second year in a row. So, it's just good to see them, get recognized for their continued stellar play. But yeah, man, it's a learning process. It's an extremely young team, as has been stated several times, and probably will continue to be stated. They're actually the youngest team in WNBA history. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of growing pains. It's going to be stages where they show their age, basically, and that's pretty much what happened last night. It's tough for vets to execute against the level of defense the Valkyries play. So, I mean, it wasn't surprising to see the Mystics a little flustered and hurried, but nevertheless, you still want to go out there and perform. So yeah, man, it's nothing to get too down about. Definitely want to see them do better in those situations. But they fell back to 500, but they got some chances to make up some ground. They actually going to be pretty busy. They got 4 games over the next week. They'll be back at home against Seattle on Sunday. Then they're going up to Toronto on Tuesday the 14th, and closing out the week Thursday they'll see Portland again. Hopefully it's not another marathon like last time. And then they'll finish things out. They gotta go to the West Coast this time to see the Valkyries. So yeah, hopefully after last night they'll have some revenge on the mind. But yeah, that defense travels and it's even worse at home. So they need to get ready for another rock fight.
For sure. And latest episode of Mystics Outlook and Pregame up on the channel. I think Cardo, you posted earlier on IG about the announcement about Sonya Kiki being 2-time All-Stars. Believe they in the press release, they're the first teammate since 1999 to be named to consecutive All-Star games. Since Shannon Johnson, Josh McWilliams Franklin, and Nikisha Sales for the Orlando Miracle back in '99. Some outstanding names, great company to be it for sure. From the Mystics to the Wizards, if you guys haven't heard, Summer League's this week. So Wizards folks will be back for Wizards Outlook after Summer League games, whatnot. They had a brief availability period earlier today. Then they head out to Vegas tomorrow. And then that first game is Thursday evening at 8 want to say 8 p.m. There's an evening at 8 p.m. Could be wrong though, so we'll fact check that. But that I do know they're playing the Utah Jazz, which they made quick to announce that like shortly after both parties were drafted. But real quick before we get into it, because Cardell and Ray definitely want to hear what you guys will be looking for from Summer League. I'm just gonna play some sound from today. Just give me a second, get that stuff up real quick. Trey, you've played with AJ in the past in showcases. What's your early impressions now that your teammate here is a Wizard?
Great player, great competitor, and then this guy wants to play the right way. You can gel with guys like that.
Coming off your rookie year, how do you feel your mindset shifted heading into year two and obviously second Summer League?
Yeah, I feel like I've shifted a lot, just my work ethic, that type of stuff. I've always been in the gym, but just keeping on stacking days and stuff like that just has definitely helped me, and just wanted, to be competitive, that type of stuff.
How do you guys feel, and have you guys felt and then embraced the buzz surrounding the team from the community?
We feel great. We feel good coming in. Are you talking about Summer League or just the season?
Just in general, fans been going nuts.
We feel great coming into it. I feel like we haven't really all been together yet as a team. Just the Summer League team has been together. So once we get all together, we start, communicating, building chemistry. I feel like we're going to be a good run. All right, Cardell, we'll start with you. Just Summer League, couple nights away. What is it that you want to see from the guys? Because obviously, this time of year, the guys in year two, they're ready to show what they learned. But with this group, and it's finally go time for the Wizards, what are you going to be keeping an eye out
for? Starting off, the game is at 9, just so everybody could be clear. It's at 9 p.m. But for the guys that's returning, Trey and Will, improvement. I want them to take the leadership role. Don't leave AJ out there to hang. We all know what the big buzz is, man. Him versus Darren Peterson. Darren Peterson has been playing extremely well in Summer League. So, kind of give him the tips and stuff, because, Vegas, that's the big boy arena. It's like if you play AAU, you got the back gym, you got the main gym. Vegas is the main gym. You know what I mean? No disrespect to the other locations where Summer League has been holding, but Vegas is the main gym. So, you always want to perform well there and kind of put the league on notice that you're for real. So we already know what it is. Darren Peterson with it. He even, he played well against Memphis. Cam Boozer's on there. And he even said it after the game. He said, I knew Cam Boozer was probably going to come in here trying to make a statement since he was picked right after me. And I wanted to show that there's a reason why I was picked before you. So that kind of, to me, set the tone for what's about to go down on Thursday. But at the end of the day, it's about reps. It's about getting used to the terminology, the system that the Wizards are about to use going into, the main season when it starts this fall. So they got to, help AJ. If you got to go on, kind of feed into that, but not feed into that. You know what I mean? Because, you can't just be out there one-on-one or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because then, with him being the number one pick, everybody's coming after him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just facts. So Trey and Will got to kind of take that pressure off of him. Be like, yeah, the boy good. He's number one pick, but we a threat too. And if y'all focus on him, we going to tear y'all up as well. So it's not just him. You know what I'm saying? So, Juju Reese, I like the production he had late in the season. Keep building. They got a lot of bigs, a lot of veteran bigs. Keep working and get on that big boy team, man, because the odds are a couple of them bigs going to get banged up, and then you're going to be right back in the mix playing. So, and they're going to need your double-double to, to continue to do what you do. So, that's more so what I'm looking at. Look, it's Summer League. It's cool to win it, but, you're not getting in the Hall of Fame off your Summer League accolades, man. This is just another step to build towards what matters, and that's the regular season. And that's what I'm looking for. On the Utah side, obviously Darren Peterson has been playing extremely well. See how those guards deal with him. Other key players on that team, Blake Henson, he shooter, came out of Pittsburgh, extremely great shooter. Lost weight, playing far better on the defensive end because of it, even moving without the ball. So That's going to be a nice little matchup. I can kind of see him kind of matching up more with AJ or Will to begin. So he's very crafty. So that's going to be a good matchup, a good test out the gate, for both of them. You know what I mean? And and it depends on who else they throw out there on the Utah side. Ace might play. Cody Williams he was killing stuff. And Bez McGreen, local product, he might pull up out there. So, I'm looking forward to it, man. We all know what it is. They got the primetime game for a reason. So, that's what I'm looking at. But yeah, man, looking at Will and trade the lead and help AJ, set the tone. Like, yeah, I'm with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the reason why I was drafted number 1. Go in there and dominate. Simple as that. And just build winning habits, man. Build winning habits. Because that's the only way. I know the Wizards, it's a big buzz with the Wizards. But they still got to put it together and get it done on the floor. And that's easier said than done. The East, we won't talk about some of the moves. The East is crazy now. You can't really let a day go by where you're not looking to get better because it could catch up to you next season.
Ray, your thoughts of what you're looking forward to as the Wizards enter Summer League on Thursday?
Man, I just want to see those guys go out and play like they got something to prove, basically. Just to be competitive. Definitely want to see AJ kind of establish himself. We seen what the other top picks have been doing. Darren Peterson's looked really good. Acuff's had a couple good games. Just want to see him kind of pick up where they left off from, and and just announce himself, as
all right. Oh, you back, Ray? It went out for a second.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep. It cut off at announce. When you talk about AJ, just announce himself.
Oh, yeah, that was the last thing I said.
Okay. I'm with you guys. Cardell, you talk about the winning habits. I know today they spent a lot of time, regardless of what the questions were asked, everybody was just talking about, that end of the floor that we're always complaining about. I want to see that. Like you said, the winning habits on that end. I want to see if it was just words today, or is there action being taken towards that end of the floor being priority. Octavia, wanted to give you a chance to as well. Anything specific you're looking for? Wizards getting in the Summer League?
No, I think they covered both of them really well, because that was the only thing I would say too, is really just seeing the second-year guys and just seeing the kids that they kind of held back a little bit last year kind of really start to feel like y'all can't hold me back no more, hopefully, as we see that the Wizards are trying to go in a better positive direction. So, yeah, just interested and excited. I love the question that you asked when you were there about the excitement around the city. So I'm just excited for the city and everybody to actually get, a first little taste on, the kids. And, of course, AJ, we haven't had a number 1 pick since John Wall. So I know a lot of people are going to be watching that with bated breath and just ready to see what he does. But I think also, like we all like to remind people that it's Summer League. Like you said, it's Summer League. It's not the end all be all. This is the time for them to go out there and make the mistakes. So you don't want to criticize them too much because they're still learning, obviously. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how it works. Definitely agree with the front gym, the back gym analogy. Vegas is definitely the front gym. So definitely just seeing them get out there. And of course, like you said, it'll be nice to see them win, but I'm just looking to see the pieces together, and definitely, like you said, the defense, because we know that's highly needed in the Wash and in the Capitol for them. So, yep, just excited to see them get out there and play and bring some excitement back to the city.
Appreciate it for the question, but credit goes to Cardell for that. Cardell, where you want to start at? Say to leave it rapid fire with the free agency stuff.
Yeah, man, we're going to start it with take it or leave it, man. Big news today. Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Signed guard Donovan Mitchell to a 4-year, $273 million veteran extension. Mitchell's new deal will run through the 30-31 season. The final season of the deal includes a player option for Mitchell. The Cavs got Mitchell to extend a year earlier than he could have. The superstar guard could have opted out for the 27-28 season and signed a 5-year contract with Cleveland, but chose to lock up a new deal now. Mitchell has reportedly been working with Cavaliers GM Kobe Altman this summer by giving input on roster moves. This is now Mitchell's second extension that he signed with Cleveland since the team acquired him in 2022. Octavian, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on Cavs locking up Donovan?
First off, I think I forgot that it's been that long since 2022. I know it's 4 years, but I don't know why I felt like he hasn't been there that long. But hey, at this point, it hopefully, like you said, he's been having conversations with the GM about roster construction. I don't want to hear no more excuses because I feel like that's the one thing that keeps happening in this Cleveland Cavaliers situation. We know James Harden is still deciding what he's going to do, and they're trying to really wait to see what LeBron is going to do and all these things. So I appreciate that Donovan said, F that, I want my stuff now. Figure out what you may with everybody else. But it's another sign of it's time to put up or shut up at this point. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Donovan, that the situations that the Cavs have found themselves in are solely Donovan's fault or even mostly Donovan's fault. I think he's shown up as much as he possibly could. We look at that last game they had in the playoffs. I mean, he was basically trying to drag everybody, but nobody else would come along. But at this point, he's going to have to drag them or make them come along. When you're making money like that, a lot of things are going to be expected. And then, especially if LeBron does still come there, we all know LeBron's not going to be the one that's going to get the flack if they don't make it, further than what they did this year or what they've done in the previous years of him being there. So it's going to be a lot on him as well. So hopefully it works out. But at the end of the day, get your money. I can't be mad at it. They're willing to give it to you. Go out there and do what you need to do. But hopefully that it yields some results for them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I don't claim to be the contract guru person. So him doing it a year earlier and opting out of waiting another year. Maybe he just wants security. We do know he's about to get married, so maybe he needs some extra coins. Not that he needs it, but because yeah, they're well off. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's just interesting. So like, congratulations to him. We don't see players get this, especially players that have not won things consistently. Unfortunately for him, he's been in some situations where he just has not been able to get over the hurdle. So hopefully this is the time for him to do so.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they just had to make a choice. If that doesn't happen, then that means you're basically punting on your current situation and starting from scratch. And I guess they figured it wasn't the time to do that. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. For him personally, I'm sure, like Octavia said, he's in that mind frame of, all right, man, I've been consistently climbing towards his goal, haven't been able to reach it, and he's just trying to punch through the wall. With the way they went out the playoffs last year, hopefully that's going to be some motivation coming into this season. Still that that big what if hanging over that franchise, if you know who is going to come there or not. But yeah, but that just shows that the franchise is leaning into Donovan and investing in him. So yeah, man, hopefully it works out for both sides and they continue to go and develop.
Wilson.
I'm happy for him. Obviously, get your bread. I'm gonna leave it just as a sour taste after watching how they went out. And essentially, like, whether you know who joins or not, like, then you're essentially just running it back with the group that went out like that. So for me, I'm leaving it at the moment, but I'm very happy that, deservingly so, that he got his new contract.
Yeah, for me individually, yeah, he definitely deserves it. There was a lot of games in the playoffs where he was kind of the lone ranger at times. Like, he was the only one that could do something. So you couldn't let him just walk because, like Ray said, that's pretty much saying, yeah, it's time to rebuild. It also adds security in case, and then LeBron want to come home or something like that. He knows he's there, so that gives him confidence before he makes his decision or whatnot. But when you get that type of deal, a lot of heat. It's gonna be a hell of a spotlight on you, and you got to deliver. Hell, even if you deliver, there's still gonna be questions, as we saw with a certain player that's with Philly now that came from Boston. You know what I mean? Biggie said it best: more money, more problems, man. So I suggest he get in the lab, stay in the lab, and really get his mental ready. Because the way they went out, if there's any semblance of that next season, the first person they're coming after is him. I don't care. Jared Allen, Evan Mobley average zeros. They're going to blame him for that zeros because they were like, man, they paying you all this money. We could have got better players to help instead of having them. They're going to blame them. So, be ready. Be ready for that, man. Because, just keeping it 100. Even if it ain't his fault, it's his fault. And that's just the reality of the situation. All right, we're going to move on to the NFL side of things. Take it or leave it, man. Wide receiver Brandon, how you pronounce it, Wilson? Ayuk exchanged social media posts with Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels on Saturday, adding another chapter to this ongoing effort to join the franchise after a potential release from the 49ers. Ayuk, still on San Francisco's reserve did not report list, has repeatedly stated his intentions to sign with Washington in recent months. The exchange appeared linked to a viral video showing 49ers fan confronting Daniels at a World Cup match using profanity directed at Ayuk. Daniels laughed during the encounter but did not respond on camera. Ayuk later posted on Instagram stories tagging Daniels using an expletive-laced message referencing savage energy. He followed with a video addressing Daniels by his jersey number, seemingly reacting to a hypothetical team rules conversation. Quote, 5 on a text me talking about something. You're on my team now. You follow my rules. Say, all right, boy, I'm a grown man. You're going to have to start running behind your mama, and I might believe what you're talking about. But until then, Daniels responded with the screenshot showing Kevin Durant, a known Commander supporter, giving a thumbs down gesture. Ayuk then posted a GIF wearing Commander's gear, writing a message expressing eagerness to play alongside Daniels. Ayuk and Daniels were teammates at Arizona State before entering the NFL. Commanders GM Adam Peters also holds ties to Ayuk, having served as San Francisco's vice president of player personnel when the team drafted him in 2020. Ray, we're going to start with you. Two-part question. Take it or leave it. Should the Commanders sign this dude? And would you sign this dude if you the Commanders GM?
Leave it, man. Leave him where he at. This is unstable behavior. And if you willingly bring that into your franchise, then you deserve everything you get. Like I just don't see a world where he's welcomed on his team after this. Like first of all, Jaden Daniels is the franchise. He's franchise quarterback. Like I don't know what leg you think you have to stand on going to him like that, but yeah, just steer clear. And if they continue to entertain him, then yeah, good luck. But yeah, man, you just don't bring stuff like this into your locker room. Nothing's good going to come of it.
Wilson, man, your old teammate, man. What's up with your man?
He's still his current teammate.
My bad. I was trying not to laugh when you asked me, so I apologize. I could help you out when you saw about his name. It's Ayuk, but I was just trying not to laugh because we have made it this many weeks in this what feels like year-long saga without touching that. So shout out to us for that. It's one of the few in the area. Like we've lasted this long without blasting that crap all over our socials, our site, channel, anything. Shout out to us for that.
He couldn't be ignored no more, man, after this, man. He going right at the franchise quarterback. All right, now we got to address it, dog. When he's shooting in the air, all right, man, he's shooting in the air. When he starts shooting at people,
I ain't aiming.
yeah.
Man, just a wild boy, man. Like it's one of them things where, like, you know, we always talk about the A word.
Yeah.
How people these days have such issue with it. So I run down a little timeline real quick. He's online telling his side of the story, whatever. But I'm just gonna live in the middle of where, like, oh no, like reality is. So back in 2024, he wanted to get an extension. That was coming off when the Niners lost to the Chiefs the second time. And that last time they lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. He was mad. He didn't want to resign. Cool. The people upstairs, you know, like the money people and the owner, they weren't too high on him for, like, since he got drafted. They was kind of low-key, not big fans. He was only there that long because of evil Kyle and John. Kyle loves him. When it was time for him to get paid, Kyle's the one who kind of fought upstairs, like, yeah, he deserves to get $30 million. So the year leading into the contract thing, they featured him a little bit more to kind of like show the front office, like, hey, technically, like, we're getting him for $30 million now, and what it becomes in the future, this would be cheap. Cool, whatever. So begrudgingly, the Niners or Brandon agreed to an extension. Cool, that happens. So then after that, he holds out. He comes back, he gets hurt. Tears like 3 things in his knee. The following, then while he was gone, some people are allowed to rehab away from the team. However, even if you rehab away from the team, you have to hit your markers with the check in with the franchise. Just normal NFL stuff. This is something that he chose not to do, and got online, told about, well, you know, Nick and Christian and them, they rehab separately, yes, but they all bring their crippled behinds back into the building for check-ins because it's in their contracts. You just got to show up a couple times. One of the things Richard Sherman talked about was, so last year when he didn't play and they voided his guarantees in July, one of the things they want you to do is injured players, and Richard Sherman said this, 4 days before everybody reports to camp, they want the injured players to come in 4 days early, so the medical staff can have one-on-one time with you guys because you're coming off injury without everybody else in the building. Somebody did not do that. So, you know, we're all grown here. If you feel like somebody's trying to get you out of somewhere because they don't like your position or what have you, it probably behoove you to be on your stuff that's in your contract. So him not showing up for that gave the people upstairs room to void his contract. And one of the things I learned, again, quick little Google search, since everybody likes to be an information age and not use it. Teams do not have to make press conferences or public announcements when they void people's guarantees. It is an internal cap mechanism. So everyone, like, it happened in July and they didn't say anything until November, it's because they don't have to tell you that. It's none of your business. It's between them and the person whose money they took. So he came back in November, popped up on the scene thinking he was going to get his guarantees back. People upstairs was like, nah. We voided them. We meant it. They stood on business and we're here now. But pretty much for him to get to Washington, he has to file for reinstatement with the league. He is on the left team list, as you said, Cardell. So he's technically not in the NFL.
Oh, so he's nobody's teammate.
No, that's why you don't hear anything out of the Bay, because he technically hasn't been anybody's teammate since last year when he didn't show up. So all of this noise and everything else, the quickest solution to all this is file for reinstatement with the league, and then the Niners may cut you. But also what's happened is by dragging this out so long, some folks are thinking that the people upstairs, the money people with the Niners, after some of the stuff he said on social, they're trying to go back and get some of that cash back. Try to get some of that 18 mil back. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I've left this last year. But shout out to the DMV being involved now, which is hilarious.
Octavia, don't you got some room in the Eagles? Help my man out, man.
We got like 7 wide receivers in there. We all right. I'm definitely gonna leave this at the altar with Jesus, because that is who he needs. He needs some help. Like, we're not even talking about football at this point. It's something, I feel like he had a psychotic break at some point, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I think something really like clicked either on or off in his brain, and he needs some help, because the things that he's doing is not going to get him to the places that he claims he wants to be, which is just crazy to me. And it makes no sense. So the biased person in me would love for him to go to the Washington Commanders and just mess up everything that they have going on there for my division. That would be amazing. Let him and Terry McLaurin fight it out for number one wide receiver. I don't know. But realistically, they can't do that. And I hope that they won't for their fans' sake, because that's another thing. We'll never hear the end of it in this area, number one. But it just doesn't even look like a good look. It's not healthy. It's not bringing anything else. There's other avenues that you could go down if you really feel like it. Because at the same time, all these videos he's dropping, has he dropped one video of him working out? Do we even know what he looks like anymore as far as a wide receiver who came off of a catastrophic injury as well? And no tea, no shade, because I know I'm not the smallest neither. He done gained some weight, and I don't know if he moved the same. So at the same time, you worried about this, like maybe you should be out there working out, my man. Post those videos. So hopefully there's somebody else in his camp that can talk to him. I don't know who it is, because it's been so long that it doesn't seem like there's anybody else home but him. But I will pray for him, and I'm definitely leaving this at the altar with Jesus.
Yeah, man. Something going on with the brother, man. I don't know if it's some CTE stuff and all that. I don't like putting that on nobody, but man, my man, like you bugging, like. And the NFL is ruthless with getting rid of players for dumb stuff, especially when the headache outweighs the production, the value of you, and like you making enemies with the team you supposedly want to go to before you even get there, dog. Like you can't go at the front. You going at the franchise player, that means you gonna have enemies upstairs. So even if they do bring you in, the first sign of you not getting the job done, you can be gone so fast. And then who else in the NFL gonna want you? So something going on, man. Like his folks, his peoples need to sit him down. Just like sometimes it's just best to be quiet. Just let your work speak. And he's pretty much at that point. Praying for the brother, but man, this is some strange times we're in, man. We're gonna move on to rapid fire. We have to touch on this, man. Boston Celtics president of basketball operations Brad Stevens said Monday the team traded Jaylen Brown to boost roster flexibility and add draft capital, calling the franchise for a path, quote, more challenging than in recent seasons. Stevens and team owner Bill Chisholm addressed reporters in Boston to discuss the trade, which sent Brown to Philadelphia in exchange for Paul George and 4 draft picks. Quote, when I looked at our team and where the league was heading, looked at the way we finished the last couple of years and at the unbelievable way we played in the regular season the last couple of years, the path looked a little bit more challenging to me, said Stevens. I might be wrong. I'm not going to stand up here and be defensive about that, but the path looked a little bit more challenging with 70% of our cap and such a high percentage of our usage tied into 2 players, obviously Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Quote, the reality in this day and age at the NBA, you have to do a great job of building out depth that can hopefully replace the irreplaceable individual. Brown, a 5-time All-Star, 24 Finals MVP, was drafted 3rd overall by Boston in 2016. He averaged 28.7 points, 6.9 rebounds, 5.1 assists last season, while Tatum recovered from a torn Achilles. Boston previously pursued a trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo before he was dealt to the Miami Heat, leaving Brown's future uncertain for weeks. Chisholm denied the move was financially motivated. Quote, no, absolutely not, said Chisholm. This was all about basically trying to win. Really trusting in our process. I think we have the best front office in the NBA, and they put in their work, and they came to the conclusion that this was the best way for us to win. Man, Wilson, thoughts on what Steven said, and what Chisholm said as the owner.
So, like, the owner didn't want to pay what Jaylen Brown cost. And we got into a whole bunch of word salads about everything except that. And some of the people, y'all know who you are, that's really disingenuous and disgusting that you've been harboring all those feelings for quite a while to get them off during this time. But yeah, man, we've been here. Cardo, was it 3-4 years ago? You talked about the apron. It's coming, whatever. How it's going to be affect stuff. Like, that's been the most annoying part about all of this. It's like on the surface, like, come on, y'all, just follow the money. Hey, everyone can't afford that. Remember, we was on here a couple weeks ago laughing because some of y'all were like taking the whole Giannis to Boston thing seriously, right? No, ain't nobody putting up that money right now. Man. You just can't. You can't build a team around it, a good team around it, or what have you. We know they paid them the last couple of years. At least they want to chip together, but all the non-basketball stuff is crazy, and the very special models that were made and created to say that Derek White was a more impactful player has been hilarious. Derek White did nothing to anybody to be throwing his name in those conversations, to be held like that. That's unfair to Derek White. This is unfair to Jaylen Brown. But now, just Boston is on. Like, they've done this dumb thing like the last couple of years. Carter, we talked about the other day. You talked about Porzingis. Like, when they got rid of Porzingis, they got off of Horford. Like, what was it 2 years ago? The year that Tatum hurt his Achilles. Like, they were retooling the bench and everything. Like, they were making changes because of money. So it took way too long to get to this place for me.
Octavian.
Yeah, I remember exactly when the alert came on my phone and just how my face just tightened up because I couldn't believe it. I understand. Well, first off, I would like both of them to be on the same page of how they're going to portray this in the media. Obviously, they're not. Either it's about the money or it's not. Both of you can't be saying the same two different things and then look at us like, why are you guys looking at us like we're crazy? Because you are. So let it be whatever it is. I think my biggest thing with this, I don't think we got enough. Like, who are you filling in with this? Because I mean, to break it down from the money so they can get more depth, like, where's the depth? Where's it at? Because it is not in the room with us. So I'm holding out hope that maybe they're just not done yet, because Mitchell Robinson and Paul George is not it. I'm sorry. Mitchell Robinson definitely, and then they gave a decent bag to Nimi Keita as well. It's going to be very different. I think there's going to be so many unfortunate storylines that come out of this situation for Jason Tatum, for Jaylen Brown, for Joe Mazzulla, for Brad Stevens, and for the owner. There's so many different ways that this can go. I get it as far as the money and all of that stuff, but if that's the case, I want to see what happens after that. What are you guys planning? Because for the owner to say we have the best front office in the league, and don't get me wrong, they arguably could be. We saw what happened last year and the players and the pieces that they pulled together. So maybe they know something that I don't know, which is definitely possible. But I don't see how this all equated to where we are outside of the money, of course. I would prefer they be on the same page of whatever lie they're going to tell. It's like two siblings telling two different lies to their parents, and their parents looking at them like, which one of y'all are lying? That's supposed to go in it together. We both going with the same story. So mom and dad don't yell at us because they're going to think we both did the same thing. But I don't know. It's annoying. I'll be honest. I think once the alert came out, like, I just tuned out sports for like 4 days because I was just like, this is just annoying. So, yeah.
Ray.
Yeah, them getting in front of people and saying the exact opposite of each other is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, they did everything they could to make sure they ended up in this situation. Like, they let everybody know that they wanted to get rid of him, and Jaylen let everybody know that he wanted to leave. So that puts you in a bad place to begin with, as far as trying to, get back appropriate value or what have you. But I mean, yeah, this was not a good move. They basically closed their own championship window. I don't know how often we see that, but yeah, it's crazy to watch. And yeah, like in the apron world, you got to move a certain way. But like after last season, like we said multiple times, last season was supposed to be a mulligan. Like, you know, Tatum was out. They had to deplete their depth and what have you, but they still ended up being the second seed in the East. Like, running back at least one more time with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but you know, things happen and now we're here. So, you know, I'm gonna say what I say to everybody that does things like this. Good luck to you. But yeah, it's gonna be real interesting to see how they operate moving forward.
Yeah, man. All right, moving on. You know, y'all know my thoughts, man. I mean, it was about the money. Just be upfront about it. I didn't think they understood the backlash that was going to come from the fan base, which tell you Jaylen Brown's impact in the community. I despise the way they leaked out stories to attack his intelligence and attack him as a man. It was very racist in tone. It's funny how certain professionals or whatever people at the top want you to be accountable for actions, and then when they do stuff wrong or not popular, they totally run from it, run from that responsibility. It's just bogus. You ain't have to attack him, even as a just athlete, former athlete, black man. That really bothered me because that's all we deal with coming up, and it's old, and he didn't deserve that. And honestly, I'm tired of them attacking his intelligence. Where he supposed to dumb himself down to fit in your box of him or to cater to your insecurity. If that's the case, that's tough. I mean, you're just gonna be a mad dude or a mad person because he's intelligent. Be that, Now, I'm a big fan of Jaylen Brown, and this isn't new. Like he's been this way since high school. He's been very aware and open-minded and socially conscious, and he's always been a sharp dude. You know what I mean? So he just happens to be an elite athlete, elite basketball player at that. So it allows him to reach a lot of people and get in a lot of rooms that might have taken him a while through his intellect and his skin color to reach. He can kind of get in there, and then once he's in there, he can do his thing. You know what I mean? So I love those type of athletes, man. You know what I mean? So, man, I hope he turns it up even more, you know what I'm saying, off the field. Because at the end of the day, it didn't bother what he was doing on the court. And he kept the main thing, and you never heard anybody criticize what he was doing off the court. Maybe, saying certain things in the stream. Whatever, man. Like, I could care less. You getting it done. As long as you ain't hurting nobody, you're not on a police blog or anything. You're not representing, at the time, the Celtics and the NBA and your family in a negative light. What's there to complain about? You know what I'm saying? He getting it done. Like this season, I think people forget this season was supposed to be a wash. Like we blowing this thing up. And he put the team on his back. It was like, nah. And so much Tatum hurried up back. Yeah, let me hurry up back, dog, so we can try to make this push. Now, if we're going to keep it real, when they both signed the $300 million deal, we knew they was on borrowed time because we knew the aprons were coming. We knew, like, there's no way y'all going to be able to keep both. So maximize this window you got. They did under the old ownership. Now, this new ownership, we're going to see because they off to a hell of a start. Let's just say that. So we're going to see how this thing ends up, man. But, nah, man, I think some of these owners and stuff are so used to the business world, just putting out a press release, and then whatever situation or issue, it fades into oblivion. That don't work for majority of sports fans to this day and age, man. Too smart, too knowledgeable. You can Google everything. So it's better to just be upfront. Just say, hey, man, we ain't trying to deal with the tax aprons. That would seriously cripple our franchise, so we ain't want to pay them that. Yeah, you may not like it, but at least you can respect you ain't trying to play everybody like they're a fool. And I think that's what they lose touch with because they so used to dealing with that in a main line of work. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just seeing how Brad was up there saying one thing and the owner was saying another. One looked prepared and was honest and straight up, and one looked like he knew. He knew around here. And of all the fan bases to try to pull a fast one on, the Celtics, one with the most championships in NBA history, done that knows what it looked like, come on now. So I guess they feel like through committee they can replace Brown. We're gonna see. But if you're gonna trade him, don't trade him to your rival that has all that firepower to come and smack you. And you gotta see him 4 times a year. And you probably gonna have to see him in the playoffs sometimes. Like, come on, man.
It's gonna be the opening game of the season, and they're gonna play on Christmas. Like, get out of here, man.
And then you got people on that side. Not only are they nice, they petty. And B gonna be like, go to work, Jalen, kill them. Like I'm clear out. So go ahead, do your thing. Like if I'm his teammate, I would be on that. Because think about it, if I'm a player in the league, that was cold what they did. The smear campaign after this, that was just cold. That was cold, man. You know what I mean? So eat. This your time, especially we in Boston. Oh, nothing less than 40. And we only going to work when you get tired. Once you get your win back, here you go. Go back to work. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of tension when they play. It's going to be good for ratings, too. It's going to be good, some exciting brand of basketball. Because they got a team with full of dogs, man. We've been be healthy. Young boy VJ, Tyrese, they with it. So, hope the Celtics ready. Because now the players got to deal with the heat because of what ownership did.
Exactly.
Man, moving to the WNBA side, hate to see this guard, Trinity Carter, has been waived by the Las Vegas Aces. The team announced earlier today. Carter played in the 13 Las Vegas 21 games, averaging 12.2 points. Carter, 27, played all 8 Aces games in May, but just 4 of the team's 12 games in June, including a Commissioner Cup championship game June 30th, which doesn't count in the standings. Carter's listed as having a left leg injury and then an unspecified illness during her missed games. Carter had 18 points in 25 minutes in the Cup final, which the Aces lost 93-85 to New York, and then she appeared only briefly in both Las Vegas games this month. She played 11 minutes and scored 4 points in the 98-90 overtime win over Chicago on Friday. When asked Friday about why Carter's minutes were so limited in the overtime game, Coach Becky Hammond did not reference injury or illness issues. Quote, Kennedy should be good to go, Hammond said, but I just made an executive decision there on what I liked and what was working. But then Sunday, Carter played just 15 minutes and then scored in the 84-68 loss to Indiana. The Aces made another roster move on Tuesday, signed a 6'4" guard for Justine Toussaint, a second-round draft pick by Indiana out of Vanderbilt in April. She was a developmental player for the Fever. Man, back on you, Octavia. What are your thoughts on Kennedy Carter's situation, man? And what does this mean potentially for a career in the league?
Yeah, it's tough because this was supposed to be her welcome back party. You know, this was supposed to be, she started the season off so well. And I'll be honest, as I was watching games, I was kind of thinking, like, why isn't Kennedy? Like, what's going, like, I wasn't understanding what was going on. Understand, of course, there's, like you said, the injuries and things. But I feel like sometimes Becky Hammond is very covert in how she explains things. So the executive decision, and then, I mean, you draw from previous experiences and previous things that you've known about situations with Kennedy Carter. Like, was there some type of situation that happened or anything? We know she's had some troubles in the past. But it's a sad situation. Hopefully she does get another opportunity somewhere because she was hooping this year. And to be fair, there are a lot of teams that could probably use her services. From knowing how she was playing last year she was overseas, and then like I said, this was supposed to be like her comeback party to the league. It's a tough situation. I hope she lands somewhere, especially if she is healthy. If she's not healthy, I hope she's able to get healthy and be able to help another franchise somewhere. Yeah, she's a good player. You know, we saw it, especially because like Asia's been out these last 2 or 3 games. That's why I was kind of expecting to see a little bit more of her, just to kind of, help out a little bit because she's been scoring well as well. And I'll be honest, I did not know she got waived until you just said that. So that's kind of crazy. But yeah, I guess it's the exact name of Rapid Fire. So you guys know I really had no idea this was coming.
Well, shout out to Carter on rapid fire in the news cycle for surprising you. But Ray, your thoughts on this situation for Miss Carter?
Yes, it's unfortunate, man. You know, I obviously don't know all the details. In regards to her and her future in the league, I mean, you can only get but so many opportunities. And yeah, depending on what the reasoning was behind this it might be the end, man. You know, she's got her reputation for season at this point. You know, whether the claims are substantial or not, I mean, it's where there's smoke, there's fire. That's what I'll say. But you know, of course, without knowing everything that's going on, but yeah, man, it just sucks to see it happen this way. You know, she definitely started off the season playing pretty well, but you know, as time went on, you know, her playing time started to decrease. So those are questions only the staff in Vegas can answer as to why that happened. But yeah, it's not looking too good for my girl, man.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. It's trending in the wrong direction. I was excited as hell when Aces picked her up this year. Like, hey, get back in the league because it's never been a talent issue. And you know, and I guess honestly, you know, credit to the Aces for not having whatever the business or whatever it actually is out here on these internet streets. Like people are acting over on the NBA side of things, where we just throwing stuff out there, whether it's real, fake, or just how you feel. So credit them for not doing that. But now it's just sad. Obviously, you know, for the Aces, they'll figure out life, but with Kenny's just like kind of like you're just running out of chances. And I would just like her to grab on somewhere to stay in the league because again, she's a tremendous talent. But yeah, man, it just sucks. It's trending in the wrong direction again, man.
Yeah, man, I'm a fan of her game. She's one of the best I've ever seen at the college level. Coming in the league, has so much hype. But I hope this is not a case of once your reputation becomes something, it's kind of just it just sticks with you throughout the league, whether rightfully so or rightfully not. I just hope it's not that, but we know of athletes where that has happened and it's changed the course of their career. It's like once you get a label as being difficult or having an attitude problem, whatever. I'm not saying that's the case. We don't know. It just literally happened. So a lot of times that just become your label no matter what you do. And is it fair? No. But that's why, you know, they so many seminars and class they teach you, you know, be professional. Be professional, man. You know what I mean? And like I said, we don't know what it is, but I don't know why the Aces did it for whatever reason. It could be something simply as roster construction because Asia has been out for a while. They needed some size, but you know, and then they like Dana Evans coming back. It could be a lot of ways you can go with this, but you know, obviously she's proven she's still a WNBA caliber player. I wouldn't mind seeing the Mystics take a chance on them. Mystics use her firepower, you know, her tenacity and stuff like that, because they to cut down on turnovers and be able to get anywhere on the floor and be a threat. I think she opened a lot of things up for, you know, Sonya, Kiki, Shakira, and those ladies, man. You know what I mean? So just add more guard depth, you know what I'm saying? But you know, we're gonna see her. Hopefully, she finds home where she could just stick and do her thing, and they judge her off of what she does with them, not what happened prior. You know what I mean? And you know, see what happens, man. Rooting for her. Last but not least, our free agent quarterback Rasul Douglas is planning to sign a 1-year deal with the Washington Commanders worth up to $3.8 million. Douglas 30 signed with the Miami Dolphins after 53-man roster cuts and played 15 games last season. While he began the season behind Jack Jones and Storm Duck, he was inserted into the starting lineup after an injury to Duck in Week 1 and established himself as the team's top cornerback by season's end. There's 2 games with foot and ankle injuries, but returned in Week 13 with interceptions in 2 consecutive games. In total, he was targeted 82 times in 2025, allowing 54 catches for 515 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also defended 13 passes, which tied for the second most in any single season of his career. He was named AFC's Defensive Player of the Week after defending 5 passes and recording an interception against the New York Jets in Week 14. Brave, we're going to start with you. Good move. Good move for the Commanders picking him up.
Yeah, from where I sit, just basically looks like some insurance policy, in case something happens to Jaden, especially given what he had to deal with last season. When a player like that goes down, it just it can potentially throw everything off track. Just to have somebody behind him that, just in case he can he can just steady the ship until things get right.
Wilson.
Yeah, man. It's a proven vet in a quarterback room that's just not proven in Washington. Like, you got young fella, you got Trey Amos, who's very, very talented. You got Mike Sanders still also young, very talented. But even like having Keller Weatherspoon, like remember him? He was picked 3rd round by the Niners back in the day. He's stuck in the league this long. Like, that's another solid vet. But Rasul comes in as kind of like the top dog in terms of like someone who's proven it over and over again in the NFL. And that goes a long way, especially when you're building a team. Like, everyone would love in pro sports if your young guys are always ready to go, they come out the gate and everything's great. Reality is it doesn't always work that way. So yeah, put you somebody in that room for those tough days where maybe young fellas going through it and Malik Neighbors going crazy. Hey, go put a vet over there. They just bother him a little bit and take something off young fella's plate. So we'll see what it looks like, but I just think it was a quality depth signing for sure.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Before we get out of here, just came through. Free agent Chris Middleton has agreed on a 3-year, $17.6 million deal with the Washington Wizards via sign and trade. Dallas is sending Middleton to the Wizards. A sign and trade situation. So Dallas is sending Middleton to the Wizards via sign and trade as part of a larger 16 deal that includes in total the Mavericks, Wizards, Clippers, Pistons, Bucks, and Grizzlies. It involves previously agreed upon deals such as John Collins, Gary Harris, Tony Prince, Isaiah Stewart, Santi Aldama, Karis LeVert's going to the Bucks, Aldama to the Mavericks, Isaiah Stewart to Memphis, Tony Prince to Detroit, along with Gary Harris and John Collins. Whoa, okay. Yeah. Clearly, Washington ain't playing. They ain't win. They stacking up on vets, man. God dang, dog. Yeah, man. Just breaking news, man. Just broke right during the show, man. So, any thoughts? Just spit it out before we get up out of here.
I saw it pop up, but I didn't get to see the full everything. So, hey.
To be fair, when Middleton was here, he ultimate professional. Him and CJ, they was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? So we just like he's playing so well. We like because we knew like they were taking. We was like, all right, he playing well. He can help a contender somewhere. And then they shipped him out for whatever reason.
Not that back.
Yeah. It's crazy. Training camp, woo. Competitive. That thing will be competitive.
Hey man, I love it. We sat through 3 years of whatever that was.
Yeah.
So yeah, pressure. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was like
love all of it.
Man,
it felt like 45. Yep.
It felt
30
like
is way too generous. It felt like 45. Those are some long, humbling drives for everybody.
Listen, if the Wizards somehow break through and win the championship, we need rings for sitting through that. If you was covering the team during that
Man.
period, some rings. We part of the blood, sweat, and tears because that was some tough basketball. That was tough, man. You know what I mean? And look, don't get it twisted. I understand how much of a blessing it is because it's rare. It's hard to get media credentials to cover an NBA team. And they ain't a lot of slots. It may seem like it. Teams only might issue like 25 to 30 a year, you know. So you've got to be putting in work, and they got to really respect your work and all that. And we've been fortunate enough to do it for over a decade. But man, there was some games I was like, yeah, dog. If I wasn't professional, I'd be about it here at halftime. I'm going home, dog. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some of them games. I'm like, where Miles at? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This young man, this was terrible.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is killing.
It was bad sometimes, man. But at least they all in or competing. I'm with it. Let's see some competitive basketball because it's been a while. It's been a while.
Yeah, and I think it speaks volumes of where Chris at this stage, he was here during one of those 3 years we just mentioned. He wants to, he's okay with coming back for the other side of that.
But he probably would.
Yeah.
He's gonna deal with the same situation in Dallas. So,
Yeah.
but think about it. I'm looking at the wing. It's a bunch of young wings. Who's the vet that can help AJ really become what he can become? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Learn the ropes.
Yep.
Like all those wings, and that's where him. And when him and CJ was here, that you could just see the knowledge that they was imparting on those guys and all that stuff. You could just see it. You know what I mean? So. And the thing is, Chris at the point in his career, like, man, you young boys go do that job. I'm here when you need me. I'm over here chilling, dog. I'm not I ain't about to be doing all that like I'm back in, I'm 28 or something like that, but I'm here when you need me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna live through y'all, but when y'all need me to get on court, do what I need to do, cool. So, you know what I mean? I love it, man. Like, it's professionalism. Like, you just gonna see it. You like, if you're not here to work, get better, and win games, you're gonna be the odd man out, man.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. And again, like you said, when him and CJ were here, all the youngsters talked about was the job they did as vets. So why not have that back in the room again? We are going to close out, but before we do, just a reminder, get over to thefocustv.com. We got our 24/7 live feed up there with the most recent content that we have. And don't forget to get over to our channel. It's really easy, whether you got Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Just type in the Focus TV in the search box and then add the channel or app, however you want to call it. And obviously, latest news, latest highlights over at thefocustv.com. You guys have a great week. We'll see you soon. Mystics and Wizards folks, we'll see you several more times this week. As Ray aligned earlier, the Mystics will be busy. And obviously, Summer League starts in Vegas on Thursday for the Wizards.